There's a truth that nobody ever shared with you when you were young. A truth that was quietly hidden. Not because people didn't want you to know, but because most men never truly earned the right to hear it. That truth is this: the difference between a woman who simply tolerates you and a woman who cannot stop thinking about you lies in how deeply you are able to take her to places even she has never known. And I'm not speaking only of the physical, I'm speaking of her mind, her soul, and the ancient fire quietly burning beneath her ribs. Most men never realize that women do not respond to a man who merely completes the moment. They respond to the man who awakens her, who makes her feel emotions she never imagined she could feel. This awakening can come through conversation, through presence, or even through the way you hold her gaze without a single word. Yet when it comes to deep connection, the body is only the doorway, and most men walk through that doorway like blind visitors in a palace. Every woman carries 6 hidden keys within her, 6 unique peaks of connection, and most men, if they are lucky, stumble upon only 1 or 2 by chance. The rest remain locked, forgotten, or left for another man to discover. This is why many women remain in relationships while secretly fantasizing about someone else. This is why a woman may seem distant to her partner, yet feel a spark for a stranger, because deep down, she knows he does not even realize the map exists. You've been told that closeness is natural and you'll figure it out, but that is a lie designed to keep you average. True mastery in creating connection is never an accident. It is deliberate. It requires understanding her emotions, her mind, her fears, and her imagination. It requires knowing timing, rhythm, patience, and the moments to bend all the rules. Marcus Aurelius once wrote, "The secret of life is not to chase pleasure, but to command it." This is where most men fail. They chase their own satisfaction, never learning how to guide hers, and in doing so, they never reach her depths. They never carve their presence into the walls of her memory. If you learn these 6 hidden realms and unlock them one by one, you will not simply be a man to her. You will be the man, the one her presence remembers long after her mind tries to forget. The first key is the clitoral experience, the point most men know, and the one they mistakenly believe is the pinnacle. Yes, it is intense. Yes, it can make her feel the height of pleasure, but it exists only on the surface. It's like tasting wine without ever swallowing. If you stop here, she may enjoy it, but she will not remember you in the way you want. Most men fail to understand that this point is not just a button. It is part of a network, like the spark plug in a powerful engine. You can stimulate it, overdo it, or ignore it, but without understanding the full pathway of her response, you are only turning the key halfway. In the hands of an impatient man, this experience becomes a quick trick. In the hands of a master, it becomes the opening to something far deeper. Here, psychology plays a critical role. Women cannot separate the mind from the body when it comes to deep connection. Her brain is scanning everything: the tone of your voice, the weight of your touch, the steadiness of your presence. If she senses your rush, if she senses your focus is only on achieving a moment, she will unconsciously close herself off. She may still respond, but it will be shallow, forgettable. The man who understands this does not treat this moment as the endgame. He uses it to build anticipation, to create a loop of trust and desire. He knows when to give her that peek and when to pull back, keeping her on the edge until her mind cannot tell the difference between longing and ecstasy. Marcus Aurelius spoke often of restraint, not as denial, but as power. And in closeness, restraint is your weapon. Any man can push a woman to the peak. The rare man can hold her there, suspended, trembling, craving without words for him to guide her further. That is when the first key stops being merely a release and becomes the spark that ignites an unforgettable experience. Remember, this first key is only a key. Do not linger in the doorway. Open it and then lead her further. The second key is the G-spot experience. Almost every man has heard of it, yet very few have truly mastered it. Most approach it like a mystery, a challenge to be found rather than a response to be awakened. And this is where they fail. The G-spot is not merely a physical point, it is an emotional trigger hidden deep within her. When you engage it correctly, you are not just creating pleasure, you are awakening something primal and powerful. It lies a short distance inside, along the front wall, but you won't find it by random searching. It responds to rhythm, pressure, and above all, connection. Inexperienced men rush too quickly, trying to elicit a reaction as if it were a trophy. But the truth is, this experience is not about achieving a goal. It is about vulnerability. When approached with care, it can unlock emotions she never knew she carried. Women may laugh uncontrollably, cry softly, or hold tightly, as if they are grasping for something essential, when this part of them is reached with patience. Most men miss this. The G-spot experience is as much about trust as it is about touch. A woman will only truly open when her nervous system feels safe. Your energy, your tone, your breathing must all communicate calm confidence. If she senses you are chasing an outcome, she will close herself off. But if she feels you are exploring her like a sacred space, patient, respectful, and reverent, she will let you in. And when she does, she begins to associate you with something rare. At this point, you move beyond simple pleasure. You are creating a bond. A well-timed experience here floods her system with oxytocin, the hormone of attachment, tying her to you in ways she may not even recognize. Even if she tries not to, she will feel drawn to you. That is biology. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "The soul becomes dyed with the color of its thoughts." When you guide her through this experience with mastery, you are coloring her memory with you. You become the standard against which all others are measured. This key is not flashy, it is not for beginners. But once you unlock it, the rest of her openness begins to reveal itself to you. The third key is the blended experience, a combination of the first 2 points of connection working together simultaneously. This is where her mind begins to lose its grip on ordinary perception. Most men never take a woman to this place because it requires patience, control, and precision, qualities they have not trained for. It is not about speed or force. It is about merging two currents into a single, unstoppable flow. When a woman reaches this blended state, her body is not merely reacting, it is rewriting its own internal map. Her mind signals, "This is rare, this is safe, this belongs to me." You become the person her subconscious wants to return to, the one her body seeks instinctively. And that is potent, not dangerous physically, but transformative for her emotions. Once she experiences this, you become an unforgettable presence in her memory. The challenge for most men is coordination. They either focus too much on one point, losing the other, or they rush the process, overwhelming her without allowing her to rise into it. A master, however, teases both points in harmony until she cannot tell where one begins and the other ends. Imagine lighting two fires and feeding them slowly until they merge into a single roaring blaze. That is the essence of the blended experience. Timing is crucial. She must already be fully present, fully trusting you. Attempt too soon, and the moment is lost. Wait until her breathing has deepened, her body is open, and her mind has fully surrendered, and then you can guide her into a space she has never known. Marcus Aurelius said, "You have power over your mind, not outside events." In this context, it means control the frame, not the outcome. Your presence becomes her anchor, allowing her to drift into this experience without fear. She gives herself over completely because she feels you are steady, holding the moment in your hands. This blended state is not just pleasure, it is identity shaping. She will not only remember the sensations, but also remember you as the one who led her there. She may replay it in her mind for years, silently, creating a bond that keeps her drawn to you. The fourth key is the cervical experience, the deepest, rarest, and most profound connection a woman can feel. Most men will never even approach this level because it requires more than physical reach. It demands emotional depth and true understanding. This is not casual closeness. It is the kind of experience that can make a woman see you in a completely new way. The cervix represents the core of her feminine essence. Approached without care, it can create discomfort. Approached with patience, reverence, and sensitivity, it can unlock a release so profound that it resonates through her entire being. But her body will only allow this level of access when she is completely open, physically, emotionally, and mentally. Her nervous system must feel entirely safe, her heart must trust you, and her mind must have surrendered well before this moment arrives. When guided properly, this experience does not erupt suddenly. It unfolds slowly, rolling through her body in waves. She may tremble, she may weep quietly, she may hold you with an intensity that feels like she cannot let go. And this is not just because it feels pleasurable. It is because her body links this sensation to deep safety, creation, and the most intimate bond possible between two people. In this state, you are not simply present, you are inside the part of her that defines her essence. This is why some women, after experiencing this level of connection, find it impossible to forget the person who led them there. Not out of fleeting desire, but because their subconscious ties him to a once-in-a-lifetime experience. It cannot be replicated casually, nor stumbled upon with someone who does not understand her on every level. Marcus Aurelius said, "When you arise in the morning, think of what a privilege it is to be alive." After you have guided her to this place, she will wake with the same thought, not just about life, but about you. About the fact that you exist and that you guided her to a place few ever reach. Understand this clearly. The cervical experience is not for every encounter. It is a rare gift, not a routine. When offered with reverence, it can make you unforgettable. When overused, it loses its magic and becomes just another memory. The fifth T is the anal experience. For many, it is considered taboo. For others, it is quietly desired but rarely discussed. And for most men, it is deeply misunderstood. To her, this is not just physical, it is psychological. It is about surrender, trust, and allowing herself to be fully present. This area of the body is rich with sensitivity and connection, but without the proper approach, it can feel invasive or uncomfortable. Many men fail here because they rush, destroying the trust required to make it meaningful. When approached with patience, care, and deliberate guidance, this experience becomes something extraordinary. It creates a level of closeness that she may never speak about, but will always feel. It is a space she shares with very few. If she allows you in, you have crossed into an exclusive level of intimacy, one that binds her to you in ways she may not fully understand. It is not merely about stimulation, it is about psychology. You are touching a place that very few have accessed, and in doing so, you are shaping her perception of you on a profound level. This is sacred territory, a private space of trust and exclusivity. If you guide her here thoughtfully, she will not forget it. To her subconscious, you will not just be a partner, you will be the person who reached into a place no one else could, and made it feel safe, empowering, and meaningful. This experience is about connection, patience, and presence. When done correctly, it strengthens the bond between you, creating an intimacy that goes beyond words or ordinary experiences. She will carry this sense of trust and exclusivity with her, long after the moment has passed. The sixth key is the full body experience. Unlike the others, this is not focused on a single point. It is the culmination of all the connection you have built, the moment when her entire body, mind, and energy respond in unison. Her arms, legs, back, scalp, and every nerve become part of a flowing wave of sensation. This only happens when she is fully present, fully trusting you, and completely lost in the moment. Time seems to disappear. The truth is, it is not about what you do in the final moment. It is about how you have guided her from the very beginning. Every touch, every whisper, every act of presence has primed her for this peak. A full-body experience blurs the line between intense connection and transcendence. It is a moment where closeness becomes almost spiritual, where intimacy and presence merge into something beyond ordinary sensation. When she reaches this state, she may fall silent, overwhelmed by the intensity. She may need a moment to recover, to absorb the depth of what has just occurred. And once she has experienced it with you, she will compare every future encounter to this standard, and most will fall short. This is not just about physical sensation. It is about the emotional and spiritual imprint you leave. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "Very little is needed to make a happy life. It is all within yourself." In the context of deep connection, this means you do not need endless tricks. You need mastery of a few essential truths. The 6 keys are not tools of manipulation. They are guides to unlock her potential, to show her the depths she can reach, and to lead her there without ego or haste. Once all 6 keys have been used thoughtfully, she will never forget who held them. Even if she moves on, even if time passes, her body and mind will carry the memory of the experiences you created together. You become not just another person, but a presence she remembers, a benchmark for connection that few others can ever reach. Now you understand. The 6 keys are not merely about fleeting experiences, they are about depth, presence, and mastery. Each one builds upon the other, guiding her into a connection that is far greater than anything casual. Most men wander in the dark, repeating shallow patterns, leaving entire worlds of potential untouched. But you now can see what they cannot. With the first step, you awaken her senses. With whispers and presence, you guide her mind. With patience and rhythm, you build anticipation. With deeper guidance, you unlock trust and openness. And finally, with full-body connection, you lead her into a state of transcendence. This is not just intimacy, it is an art form, a philosophy expressed through presence and understanding. Remember this, true mastery is never about possession, but about self-control and discipline. To guide her through these keys, you must first master yourself. Your patience, your focus, your ability to remain steady and composed. For only in restraint does real power exist. Once you have walked her through these keys, you will not simply be someone she knows. You will be the presence she remembers, the one who awakened experiences she will carry with her for a lifetime. She may try to forget, but her mind and body will always remember. So ask yourself, will you remain like the many, fumbling at locked doors? Or will you take the keys and guide her into the experiences she has been waiting for? What are your views on this? Share your thoughts in the comments below. I will personally read all of your comments. And if you seriously want to level up in life, don't forget to show some love by hitting the like and subscribe button. Stay strong. Until next time.